Good afternoon, it's time for another video here on the AutoVlog YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, we've had the Raptor for 3 weeks, almost a month, and I figured it's time to see how fast this truck really is. I mean, it is fast just by the feel of it, but I've never really done a proper 0 to 60 test in the truck. You might be asking, like, why isn't your wife doing it? It's her truck, right? Is it really her truck, Mike? Is it yours? Did you just say that you bought it for her, but you didn't? It's her truck, but she has a business of her own and she's busy today. She's working, and at the end of the video, we're actually gonna install a bed liner finally and get the new rails for the tonneau cover. Dang, it's windy out here. Now, I thought it might be interesting, in a later video, we can have my wife do the 0 to 60 test as well, since she weighs about 100 pounds less than I do. So some quick specs here. It has the 3.5 liter high output EcoBoost engine, twin turbo, 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. A lot of torque. Now we have, of course, our V-Box with us. We can measure a couple correct 0 to 60 times. So I'm gonna get this up here, plug it in. Okay, so the V-Box is calibrated. It's got a GPS signal. Let's do our first run. Now, there's several different driving modes in the Raptor, but for this first run, we're gonna keep it in 2-wheel drive and just floor it. Here we go. Struggling with traction, 60. So what do we get? 6.3 seconds. Now, the Raptor is rumored to be able to do it in 5.5 seconds. So let's see if we're gonna be able to get to that number today. That was just flooring it, of course, with traction control on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put it in sport mode, which of course sharpens up the throttle response, makes it shift a little quicker. Same type of launch. 1, 2, 3. It's definitely fast. 6.7 seconds. So on this straight that I'm on here, there is a slight incline the one way, and then obviously a slight downhill grade on the way back. So what we're gonna do now for the third one is I'm gonna actually put it in 4A, which is basically like an all-wheel drive system, and see if we get a better launch. I'm gonna turn off traction control as well, completely off by holding the traction control button in here. Advanced track is off. And here we go for the third one. Felt like a little better launch. So 6.3 seconds again. I was hoping to get under 6 seconds here. Now, these are, of course, real life conditions. It's 71 degrees outside. It's extremely windy this way. Let's try it with some brake boost, shall we? Up to about 2,500 RPM. Oh, yeah. There we go. 6.4, and that was in the uphill grade. So this straightaway here, that's the best place I have to work with. I don't have an open airfield strip or anything like that. And we live in Pennsylvania, it's up and down all over the place. So we have these miniature grades all over the place. But we're gonna try that same exact launch in the slight downhill grade. I wanna get under 6 seconds in this truck. I mean, it has half a tank, meaning it probably has about 15 gallons of fuel, which kind of weighs it down a little bit, and I weigh about 210 pounds. Maybe my wife is the only one at like 110 pounds that will be able to get it under 6 seconds. But like I said, that's gonna be a later video. All right, so let's try this again. Brake boost. Oh, the grip is awesome. 60. 5.8. Yes. All right, we got to try it again. Uphill grade. It launches hard, man. 60. .3 again. Damn it. Come on, Raptor. You know what? This straightaway right here is pretty flat. So we're gonna try it one last time. There's 60. Come on, baby. Under 6 when it's flat. 5.5 seconds. Whoa, 5.5 seconds. 5.5 seconds. So here's what I'm thinking. This was more of an enclosed, like country road stretch type thing. I don't think the wind got to us as bad. We probably didn't have any headwind nor tailwind. That was an extremely good time. 5.5 seconds. I'm impressed. And this is real life conditions. There's no perfectly prepped, you know, drag strip or anything like that. Very, very nice. Now, I was gonna put a GoPro here like I usually do in my cars, but I'm out of these adhesive mounts. So I need to order some new ones off of Amazon. So the next time my wife does this 0 to 60 test, we're gonna have a GoPro that monitors the speed the whole time as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do this again in the opposite direction because that stretch right there is pretty flat. And I'm gonna hold this camera that I'm filming with right now right at the speed, and then we'll just go up and film the V-Box right after that. All right, we'll see how steady I can hold the camera here with one hand. Let's do it again. There's 60. Hopefully it can focus in here on the time. That's the hard thing, to get this thing off the windshield. Whoops, always drop it too. 5.5 seconds again. The V-Box resets by GPS every time you come to a complete stop. So it wasn't like that was the same time or anything. And what I noticed though, to be 100% honest, I didn't see it in the beginning. It was a slight downgrade even in that pass we just did, the 2 times we did it. So we got 5.5 seconds. The downhill grade is, however, a whole lot less than it was in the first straight that we've been doing these tests. All right, so there we have it. Let me know what you guys thought the time was gonna be. Was this faster than you thought it was gonna be, or was it slower? I've never ever doubted the power of the EcoBoost engines. The only thing I don't really like is the sound, but again, this truck is stupid fast. I mean, I'm impressed. And this is stock. You can tune these things and get over 600 horsepower in this thing. Who knows, maybe that'll happen in the future, but definitely new wheels will be coming pretty soon. But today, however, we will be going back to Auto Illusions to get a bed liner put in the truck and get some new rails on. This thing, this tooth here hasn't really been sticking, so the tonneau cover keeps popping up all the time. See? But we're having new rails put on, so that whole thing will be fixed, plus we'll have a bed liner. Now, tomorrow's video. All right, so I jumped back in the truck here. It is so windy outside. I don't even know if I had any audio whatsoever. But tomorrow I'm taking a little trip, meeting up with another YouTuber and another guy. They have epic cars. One of the ones we're going to see tomorrow is a Dodge Demon. It'll be the first time for me seeing one in the wild. So the content that is coming in the next video is going to be epic. You guys don't want to miss it. So definitely go follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, at AutoVlog, to stay updated on exactly what's going on and the shenanigans that will be happening. So this actually got me thinking, is the Ford Raptor the fastest truck that you can currently buy. I mean, I know that there's been faster trucks if you look at 0 to 60 times and such in the past, like Typhoons, Cyclones. I know that the Tundra, there was a Tundra version with a supercharger that did it in like 4.2 or something crazy time. I don't know if they make them anymore, but my question to you guys is the Raptor the fastest truck in the world currently that you can buy? That is mass produced, of course, not some, you know, very rare special edition type thing. I'm sure that the Shelby Raptor, or whatever they call it, the one with 700 horsepower, that's of course faster, but that's a modified truck by Shelby. I don't know if you would call that production made in the same way. So, but you know, 5.5 seconds for a big truck like this, I mean, it's fast, really fast. But I figured that you guys would know, so that's why I'm asking the question. But now we're almost at Auto Illusions once again. Finally, we can get a bed liner and a functional tonneau cover. So here we are, once again, Auto Illusions. And we'll be right back. So now we, of course, got to show the owner of the truck here. Boom shakalaka. Now we can just throw. This too? Yeah, okay. This here too, the actual tailgate. Oh, nice. So now you can just throw a bunch of stuff in there. You don't have to worry about anything. And they fixed the tonneau cover here, so you see it doesn't like. You just pull these, remember, and then you roll it. Very nice, George. Yeah, so can you explain to the viewers that we're going to do a second video where we test the performance of the truck, because you know, obviously it weigh like 100 pounds less than I do. I did a 0 to 60 test in the truck today, by the way. Oh, you did? You didn't know that. I don't know. How does my weight have anything to do with it? Well, it has a lot to do with it. Oh. Because, you know, I mean, whoever's driving it, if that's like a freaking 400-pound dude, it's different from me being 200 pounds, you know, because it weighs the truck down. And when it comes to performance and speed and stuff, that makes a huge difference. So you will not be in the, oh no, could you be? No, I mean, you should do it by yourself. Okay. At some point. Yeah. Whenever we find the time. Alright, so we're back in the garage here. I do apologize for the wind noise. I have a wind protector on this camera right here as I put it on the screen, but it's just that windy. It's been that windy all day, and the wind protectors just doesn't help. But as you guys can see, we did get a regular drop-in liner. I was thinking about getting a spray-in liner, but we're not going to be utilizing the bed of the truck for like rough and rugged type stuff. So you know what, and we had the tonneau cover on all the time. No one really sees the bed liner anyhow, and you know, the stuff that we're gonna keep in there, like, you know, minor stuff like luggage every now and then, and you know, my wife's flower pots, stuff like that. So the drop-in liner will work just fine for us. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. And if you're stopping by this channel for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be in Harrisburg.